Well, if you are planning a wedding, you know how overwhelming it could be, and that's where Showbride of Southeastern Virginia can help. Here to tell us more about the upcoming Bridal Expo are Tanya Frazier of Graceful Designs and Jackie Honeyman from Grand Affairs. Ladies, how you doing?
Doing good.
Good. Well, we've got a beautiful spread, and Tanya, I'm going to start with you.
Sure.
Tell us about Grace Designs and what do you do? I can see what you do, but there's so much more.
So much more. We're a premier event wedding company.
Okay.
We are award-winning florists, wedding planners, decorators, and planners.
Okay, that sounds great. And we know what Grand Affairs does. It's been around since I got married.
We've been around for a minute, yeah.
Tell us about some of the changes that are going on at Grand Affairs and some things that brides are looking for these days.
Sure. Well, we're Grand Affairs Catering and Venue.
Okay.
And we are one of the premier caterers in Hampton Roads. We cater on and off premise. Our venue can hold anywhere from 20 to 650. We cater off premise for anywhere from 2 to 2,000.
Wow.
So we're now really kind of putting more emphasis on some of our off premise catering. We're also scratch caterers in the kitchen.
What's that mean?
That means everything that chef does in the kitchen is from scratch.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
It's not like typical banquet food that you might hear of. It's everything is home cooking, delicious.
That's
absolutely wonderful food. Yes.
And what should a bride take with her when she decides to go to this expo? I mean, because it can be overwhelming when I go to expos and things like that. I'm just like, oh my gosh, looking at everything. So is there a list or something or things that you recommend?
Just like you're saying, it's a big shopping spree for your big wedding day. So you want to bring some pre-printed labels. You want to have some questions. You want to have your vision. If you've collected a Pinterest board and you want to show some of the vendors, that's always a good start. Maybe your colors, but basically your excitement, because the vendors are as excited as the bride and the grooms are when they attend.
Absolutely.
What do you recommend?
I recommend, Tanya mentioned the pre-printed labels. Very important with your email address and wedding date on there too. A lot of times you get too excited and you're trying to write all your information down for people.
Right.
And then we get it back to our office and we can't read your handwriting.
There you go.
And then they call saying, we didn't hear from you. We emailed
read
you.
your handwriting. Yeah.
We couldn't read it. So the pre-printed labels are great. Also the list of questions. When you go from vendor to vendor, make sure that you're talking to the people at each vending booth that you're going to be dealing with for your special day.
That was my next question. How do you guarantee? Because some of the people who are vendors may not be the actual person that you're going to be working with down the line. Right. So how do you know that is? Is that a question that you asked, Tanya?
That would be a question that you would want to ask because you're going to have people that are going to come out and display their goods. So you want to make sure as they're answering your questions, you ask them as the bride or groom, are they going to be working on the day of the wedding? So when you've signed the contract and you put your deposit down, those are questions you're going to want to ask because I'm sure they've got a full staff and you want to make sure your vision crosses over to who you've communicated with.
Okay, and for engaged couples, like what is the rule now for planning? Like I took 2 years because I was bi-coastal, but what, what do people do now?
Used to be 2 years or a year. Now really 6 months or less.
What?
You're able to do that. A lot of vendors do get booked out a little bit earlier than that, so we kind of like a year's notice. But we've done weddings where it's been like there's been a hurricane in Carolina and we've had 3 days to help a bride move up to do the wedding. So it can be a very short period of time. I just booked someone yesterday, as a matter of fact, that's getting married on April 23rd. So
that is right around the corner.
Yeah, that's right around the corner.
Oh,
so
my.
we like at least 6 months. A year would be nice, but 6 months out, Tanya, what do you think?
Yeah, just because it's less stress on the bride and groom when you've allowed yourself enough planning time. You're not rushing. You're not trying to get through things in a rush manner. So I always say as a wedding planner, a year is perfect. If you're bi-coastal like you were, you basically do want to give yourself all that planning time since you've got travel time to put into that.
Okay, and where do we get tickets for Showbride? And tell us about this while you tell us where we get tickets.
Yeah.
I guess you can't do that, but show us a shot of this so we can see how beautiful it is while we talk about tickets.
You can get tickets at showbride.com and use Coast Live, and you'll get free tickets, and those will be emailed over to you.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, and the show is again at the Suffolk Conference Center from 2 to 5 on Sunday.
Wonderful. Well, this was such a beautiful display. I hope we were able to see it. We'll definitely take some pictures of it because it's inspiration. I love tablescapes, and this is giving me inspo for Thanksgiving and Christmas. All right, ladies, I appreciate it.